Have you ever wondered how you can express your best selves out to the world or make such a strong change in your life that will impact your whole joy and happiness feeling to become the better version of yourself, to live a higher quality of life because you made an internal change that affected your outer body, your mind, your life? So today, we are here with Arkadiusz Lewandowski. He is a business coach, an entrepreneur, and a fascinating person with a fascinating life story. And today we'll share with us his personal insights from business, from his very interesting story. Maybe will tell us a little bit about the Ironman that he's about to do. So I can't be more excited, Eric, to hear from your story. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for invitation. It's really great to be here and share my story. Hopefully, it will inspire someone like I was inspired some years ago. So, thank you for that.
So maybe let's begin our episode with sharing with our listeners what they can expect from our podcast today,
Yeah,
who they can become or what they can learn or what they're about to learn.
I think that the most important thing from today is that you have a powerful mind, and with your mind, you can do whatever you want. And sometimes it is bigger and bigger goal that you can even imagine when you start. So, for example, I started to run and my goal was to run 10 kilometers and I've ended up with Ironman. So
Sounds like
you never know when the journey ends or it will still continue, but if you can start and you can be consistent on what you are doing, then it can drive you in whole new areas of your life.
so. Maybe just for those who are not familiar with Ironman, maybe share with them what is an Ironman competition, what does it include, and maybe share with us a little bit about how did you get into that.
Yeah, sure. That's that's pretty interesting because Ironman race is one of the most difficult challenges in the world. So it comes about 3 and 8 kilometers swim in the open water. It's important that it's not on a swimming pool, but in open water, so lake, sea, or river. Then you have to bike for 180 kilometers. And after that, you need to run a marathon, so 42.2 kilometers of running. And I completed it last year for the first time, and it took me 12 and a half hours.
Wow. So I want to dive, in Ironman and in preparing for that, there is a lot of mental work. It's not only practicing our body, but it's such a long journey that we have to stay in a high mental state. What
Yeah,
do you do to maintain this mental state, this high mental state, to keep on practicing, keep on uh, going towards it, and also at the Ironman competition itself, how do you maintain the focus?
actually, Ironman is more about mental than about muscles. Because sometimes people ask me why you do this Ironman because this is crazy. You know, you need to do trainings for 12 or more hours a week, and then you have one or two races per year. But I'm telling them that Ironman is not about the training your muscles. It's about training your head, your brain, your mental, your ability to be consistent, to do whatever you need to do every day by day, week by week, month by month, and year by year, and you become better and better because you can see your progress. You can see your progress in trainings, but also in your mental. You can feel that you are invincible, and that is the feeling like I've never felt like this before, and it's also, somehow addiction, because when you're training so hard. For example, yesterday I ran a half marathon, and then day before yesterday also I ran a half marathon, and today I will bike for 2-3 hours, and it's just normal day of training for me. So if I will think about something like this, and I will be back in time for the 3 or 4 years, then I was never thinking about I will be able to do that. And right now it's a normal day. So it's pushing our limits for the very very much away, and then you want to push them even further.
Is there maybe a quick, short tip that you can share with our listeners today that they can apply to their life to have a better mental resilience, to become mentally stronger?
Yeah, one of my best things, best way to apply is to have a vision. So at the first, when I was thinking about an Ironman, or about a business or about something that I want to achieve, because you can implement in everything actually. First is the clear vision. What I want to achieve, how I want to look like, what I want to feel about it, how it will be for me. And then after this vision, you can just create a plan, what you need to do. This it is called like reverse engineering. And then, and when you have this plan, for example, you imagine that you will have this vision in 2 years from now, or 3 years from now, or 6 months from now. But uh, when you have this plan, you can just focus on doing your work day by day, not thinking about, okay, how far is that? I'm not gonna make it. But focus on process, focus on every day, and you will see your progress after 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. Then you will be happy about it, and this will give you more power, more motivation, more determination to pursue your goals. So it's about having a vision, but acting small.
I feel like people sometimes when they say, "Oh wow, it's such a long time. I need to practice for I don't know, for that many months and I need to do that it doesn't matter for whatever job they have. I need to do so much work for that goal." How can we as people change this state? So if we have a vision, we can see that already. But then we see all of that work that we need to apply over there. Is there any way to make it easier, more fun, more joyful for people to go through those long steps and maybe make them shorter in the
Yes,
feeling at least?
yes, of course. And the way is that you have your vision, but you need to enjoy the process. So if the process will be very painful for you, and you will be feeling that, oh no, I need to do training for next day and today, again I need to go to the gym or to the bike, or I need to go to run. You heard when I was saying that, Yuval, today I will bike for 3 more hours. I was happy about it because I can't wait to it, even though it's difficult and sometimes it's hard, but I love this process. And then you can switch this thing in your mind that you are not waiting for the final result, because I don't know what will be the final result. My vision is just a vision, but vision is evolving when you are evolving. So my first vision was to become an Ironman, and I did it. And then I was sitting and thinking, okay, so what now? I will do another Ironman. Heck, okay, maybe I'll do that. So I sign up for the next Ironman race, but then I have another vision. Oh, so maybe I will become a world champion in double Ironman. So that's my goal for now, you know. And 2 years back, when I was thinking about one Ironman, I was not able even think about it.
Wow. So basically, if I try to track back for the things you did, is you always make yourself excited about the goal. So you use your tonality, your body language. So as you told me before, you said I have 3 hours of bike riding. You use your tonality, you use your body language, you make yourself excited about the goal. So I think it's super important also for our listeners to pay attention to. If you have a goal that you want to achieve, that it's important for you, that you know that reaching that goal will change many aspects in your life and help you in many aspects. Or maybe you just like it, you want to do it. Be excited about it to motivate yourself, change your tonality, your body language, if your thoughts, like everything, it all needs to be combined together to become excited about the goal. Because when you're having fun, it's more likely that you're going to do good and that you're going to do it also. So enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. And that's what I see from you also. You enjoy the journey in whatever you
Yes.
do. Also in your businesses, I'm sure that it's applied. So maybe share with us, tell us about your businesses.
Yes, I am the co-founder and CEO of Altera. It's a accounting and software startup. So we grow from 2 people at start point and investors to 30 people at this moment, several millions in revenue. We have our own app and a few hundred clients. So it's a successful startup on Polish market. Right now, we are also trying to go outside of Poland. So it's like electronic workflow documents app and also accounting and payroll services combined in one comprehensive service. So it's pretty cool, and it's also was product which I very much wanted to happen in Poland because I saw that there's nothing like this. And when I started my first company, I was scanning my documents and added to Google Drive because I didn't want to, be them on paper because I don't like papers. So everything in Poland was in paper. So I just been frustrated that why there is no app and accountant online in Poland with good quality, with good UX and which actually is pleasant to use. There was some very old software, so I decided to do it with my co-founders and investors. So that's the first businesses. Second business is educational business. So it's like I have 3 more co-founders, and they invented their own physiotherapist method, and we've connected together because I'm here the businessman, they are the content men, and they invented it together. So I was actually had their patient, and before my first Ironman, I have a knee issue. Every week I was on physiotherapist, and they somehow I've heard about them, and I just go to them and try if maybe some different way of physiotherapy will help me. And they touch me and talk to me and so on, and it was like I was completely cured after one session, and I was like, oh my God. Going to the physiotherapist every week for the 6 months, and right now after one session I'm cured. It's awesome. I told them you can't hide it from the world in your place. You need to teach this thing to other because world needs this. So we decided to start a company and teach other physiotherapists. And my third business is my coaching and training business. So I started to also coach others about business, about life. I use NLP to be the coach. And also I started to training the NLP practitioner, master practitioner, and NLP coach certificate because NLP is one of the most powerful tools to work with your mind. And as you know, your mind is about your life actually, because your internal state defines your external reality. So if you can manage your internal state, your mind, your body, your language, then you can influence the world.
So maybe just for those who, so we had a few episodes that we talked about NLP here, but maybe for those listeners who haven't heard about NLP, maybe can you share us a little bit about what it is?
Yes, NLP is neuro-linguistic programming, which is about uh, how to say it. It's about changing the uh, brain and modifying the brain how it works by language. So even with you just talking to someone, uh, for example, in a coach session or in training seminars and so on, you can influence their mind, you can influence their brain to make their life better, their internal state better. They thought can be different, connected to whatever they can. So it's very very powerful, and it's have lots of tools what you can work on your mind, and basically you can do whatever you want. If you have these tools, you can do it with yourself, you can do it with your clients. So as we are in this together, we saw that the tools are so much powerful that we decided to use it on ourselves and also teach it to others.
So, it also takes us back to how you motivate yourself towards your goals, and also understanding that our language, our tonality, everything has a purpose, everything
Exactly.
changes something in our brain and makes us think different, see things differently. So that's why it's important to apply those techniques using the paralanguage, the tonality, the changing our thoughts to shift our life, to change our life, to change those actions that we take. Um, so you talked with us about your businesses. You talked with us about your athlete, athlete hobby career. Let's talk maybe about our listeners now, because they're listening to us and they're paying attention to different words, to different stories. Is there any story from your life that changed your perspective towards how you perceive life, maybe in business, maybe in sports, something that happened to you that made you shift from one state, from one perspective to another perspective?
Yes. I have one story which comes to my mind at this moment. I was a member of Toastmaster International. I don't know if you know this organization, but it's like a speakers club. They uh, meet every week to practice the public speaking. And also we have this in Poland, in the city where I was living there. And once I decided this was like 5 or 6 years ago. Once I decided to prepare a comedian speech, the funny speech. I expected everyone to be laughing. And when I come to the stage and throwing my joke, no one was laughing. No one. And I know if you know this feeling when you're telling the joke and the people looks like then you can just change the subject or something like that. But I was on the stage and I had a comedian speech and no one was laughing, and I was so embarrassed because I needed to continue it till the end. I was so embarrassed. My face was red. And I sat down after the speech, and I was like, you can see my body, and I was like,
Felt
I will
devastated.
never go to the stage again. This was my last time. And I was like so embarrassed, so angry, so frustrated. I've and then I could just let it go and make this thought to be on my brain for the long time. But I was thinking like, why why are you thinking like that, Arek? Mm, This was your first comedian speech. First comedian speech. You perform better when you do inspirational speech or something like that. This was just a comedian speech and it didn't work. It it don't mean that it doesn't mean that you are a bad speaker. You just need to improve your skills in comedian speech. So yeah, I can improve. I can be better. So yeah, that's not that I'm so bad that I can't do that. So I was thinking like, yeah, I'll be better. And this experience showed me that if you believe in your thoughts when they are depreciate you, then you can just throw away your potential. But if you will believe in yourself and you will be telling to you that okay, it didn't work, it doesn't mean that I'm bad. It just didn't work. I can improve, I can learn, I can be better. And after I talked to myself for several minutes, my last thought was, okay, so Arek, you will be one of the best speakers in the world someday. And the journey from the I will never go to the stage again to you will be one of the best speakers in the world someday was really quick, but it changed my perspective on how I go with my challenges.
Wow, it's amazing. I had someone here on the podcast. His name is Miki Berkal, and he shared also an interesting concept that relates to that. That now you remind me that I think it's a cool idea also to share. So they have also another interesting, cool insight about it. He said that he wanted to play the ukulele or guitar, and he was very bad at it at the beginning. But to keep on motivated and to start learning, he told himself, so he connected to himself as the identity level. So when something is part of our identity, it's part of who we are and we're
Mm.
motivated to do it. So he said you can't say that I'm a professional ukulele player or professional guitar player or professional swimmer or professional runner, but because you won't believe it, because you're not. But to connect with it, you can say that you are a guitar player in his early stages. You are a runner in their first steps. So you put yourself in that identity in its first step, so you have where to grow. And it changes the whole mentality, this whole perspectives. And it reminds me of something that you did naturally also with yourself, changing your perspectives. So if we look at this story, what do you think if we break it down to a strategy for our listeners that they can take? What strategy they can do from hearing this amazing story and apply to their life? What steps can they take to do this shift in their lives?
I think yeah, also it's a great story. Yeah, so thank you for that. But the one thing that you can implement to every aspect of your life. So if something doesn't work, or you can't achieve something you want, then you can just not treat it as a failure, but as a lesson to be better next time. And if you will improve 1% in a day, then in a decade or 2 decades you will be unstoppable. And that's what I changed my perspective to from failure to lesson. And when I have this lesson, I learn something, and next time will be better and better and better. So if you're thinking about failing, then just change it and think about learning. And as you said, the guitar player in early stages, they probably make a lot of mistakes, but they learn from the mistakes, and that makes them best guitar players, also best runners, best entrepreneurs, because also I've lost hundreds or millions for bad decisions. But I know that in the next years I can avoid that. So this was expensive experience, but it is an experience.
Wow, that's amazing. You know, it's a very interesting change to do in our mind. It's not failure, it's learning. It keeps us motivated and also to learn from the experience what we can take for our life and change better. And I think one of the strongest concepts that you mentioned is change 1%. You don't need to be a different person when you wake up tomorrow morning. Just need to be 1% better. Just improve a single angle, a short little angle. It's like a snowball, I like to call it. When it started to rolling, it rolls and it's smaller at the beginning, but the more it rolls, it collects more snow with it and it gets bigger. So it's the same. We need to do a small change that for the long term, it will accumulate and become a bigger change. It's
Yes,
important
because
to remember.
people mostly, underestimate. They think that no, they overestimate what can do within 1 year, but they much underestimate what they can do in a decade. And it's a huge difference because when you improve for 1% day by day, so in a decade it's 1,000% because of the snowball effect. So it's not about failing, it's about learning, and it's about improving yourself just 1% or a day or 0.5% on a day. But daily improving will make you successful in your life if every aspect of your life.
That's amazing. So, Arik, I want to summarize our conversation today. So, we talked about many different aspects, but if we would focus on one thing that you want our listeners to take from the conversation, if they forget, in case they forget everything, but they would remember many things because they know how it will impact their life and would change their perspectives. If they need to focus on one aspect from our conversation, what would it be?
I would say that remember this sentence: I'm not failing, I'm just learning.
That's amazing. So you heard Eric, you're not failing, you're learning. And when you're learning, you can improve and become better. So I want to thank you, Eric, for sharing your insights, your personal stories, your fascinating perspectives, and mental skills that you shared with us today to change our everyday life. And I'm sure our listeners can take those skills that they've already taken and can apply in their everyday life. So tomorrow, when they wake up, they become 1% better than who they were yesterday. Thank you very much, Eric.
Thank you very much, Yuval. Thank you for the invitation, and hopefully that is inspirational, some inspirational for the listeners.